Hey guys, this is Talon of Tal's Minecraft, and today we are going over some stuff that I did. As you can see, I've expanded my rubber farm, and I have increased my power yield. I've got 5 LV solar arrays going now with an MFE feeding into my bat box. I'm going to be expanding my base here in a little bit and probably going to be moving to another location that I found. Still running the quarry, and it's running as slow as ever, but as you can see, I've added some materials here. What we're going to be working on today is we're going to be working on setting up some Tinker's Construct stuff, which is I've gotten tired of replacing pickaxes and swords and shovels and axes and things like that, so we're going to work on doing some of that today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get a tool station. And to do that, we need to come up with a blank pattern, which is simply 2 pieces of wood and 2 sticks. So we're going to convert some wood here. I'm just going to get a stack here. We're just going to use those blank patterns right now. And I need, that is actually a part builder. I need one of those. A block of wood and a blank pattern will give you a part builder. And if you get a crafting table and a blank pattern, we get our tool station. I also want to get a pattern chest. Pattern chest is simply a blank pattern and a chest. Oddly enough, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and craft us a chest here and add a blank pattern, and we've got a pattern chest. Now we need a stencil table, and this is the basics of the Tinker's Construct stuff that you're going to need. And as you can see, I got another book here called Materials in You by Skyla, and it goes through all the different materials and all the different items that you can make. So, and there's some really cool items that we can make. So let's take a quick nap here, and what we're going to do is we're going to need to make some grout for our smeltery. And grout, there are 2 different ways to make it. You can either make 8 pieces or 2 pieces. I'm going to make the 8 pieces. So what we need to do is we need to get some clay. I'm going to quite a bit of grout because we will use a good bit of it in crafting our smeltery. And now I need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that is. Yep. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our clay. That's not gravel, that's a wrench. If my mouse will pick up the things that I want it to pick up. And now we've got 8 stacks of grout, which is plenty to start with. Should be plenty to start with anyways. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook that up real quick. I'm going to go ahead while that's cooking up, and as you can see, I've set up a little automation system with wooden pipes pulling out into this chest, and I'm just having it all pull out into the same chest for right now. We're going to go ahead and set up our Tinker's Construct stuff right over here. Get my pattern chest, and actually I don't want my tool station there, I want my stencil table there. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our blank patterns and put it in our stencil table, and we're going to just start making patterns. And we're going to make each pattern. I'm probably going to have to come up with some more blank patterns here, but we're going to put our patterns into those I didn't want to do that. I already had one of those. Oh, that's okay. Let's switch over to utility mode here. And I can just delete that. And I want to go pickaxe head pattern. Oh, I've already got those, so. Tool binding pattern. Pan pattern. Board pattern. And I do indeed need to come up with some more. Excuse me. Let's see. Had the board pattern last, so we're going to get a knife blade, and chisel head, tough tool rod, tough binding, large plate. And we're just going to put all of these in here, and you'll see why in just a minute. Broadhead axe, scythe head, broad shovel, large blade, hammerhead, bowstring, fletching, arrowhead, tool rod, and that should be it. So that's all of the patterns that we need. And what we're going to do is we're going to make casts. We're going to make patterns of each one of these. So, or actually not patterns, but items out of each one of these. And you'll see why in just a minute. And I'm doing it out of wood because wood is cheapest. I also need to get a chest set up out here. And as you can see, some things cost more than others. We're going to have to go ahead and get that chest set up out here. Excuse me. We'll just make a quick wooden chest here for right now. Alright, so where were we? Ah, yes. Board. Tough binding. And knife blade. Tool rod. I only need the one knife blade, but that's fine. That's why I'm doing it out of wood. Large blade. Excavator. Scythe. And almost done. That's right, the fletching pattern won't work. Bowstring, I know won't work. Hammerhead should, and the tool rod should as well. And we will just put you right there. Alright, so all of these are going to be our basis for casts here in a little bit. And I will show you what I'm talking about when the smelting stuff gets done. So, wood rod needs to go in there. So, while we're waiting on that, we will go ahead and take a pause, and we will be right back. And we're back. Okay, so now that we've got our seared brick cooked up, we are going to want to make a couple of things. First off, in a 2x2 pattern, seared brick turns into seared bricks, and that gives you your third book, Mighty Smelting. Now, you will start off with, let's see if I can find it, Materials in U Volume 1. That gets you started with the basics on how to craft like the tool station and things like that. And when you craft the tool station, it will give you Materials in U Volume 2, which gives you the materials and the items that can be crafted. And then the Mighty Smelting goes through the way you cast things, how to manufacture your smeltery, and whatnot. So what we want to do is we want to come up with a tool forge. I need 3 seared bricks, 4 blocks of iron, and a tool station. So we're going to get some iron, and this is actually really simple, guys. A lot of people that I've played with on multiplayer who have never really played with it before found it somewhat confusing, but if you start from the beginning, it really is not that difficult. There's just a lot of steps to it. So what we want to do is we want to take our tool station, or actually our blank pattern, and come up with a tool station. I could use the one that I've already got, but I'm not going to. I want to keep it just in case I decide to make some throwaway tools. I say throwaway, but these actually never wear out, so they eventually run down and break, and you have to repair them, but they don't wear out in such a way that you lose the tool. And we're just going to take, and I want to make some glass here. We want I think it's like that. No, it's not seared bricks, it's seared brick. There is a difference. This is our seared tank. We have to have at least one of these, and we have to have a smeltery controller, and we have to have at least one smeltery drain. Now I'm going to make 2 smeltery drains and 2 seared faucets, and then the rest of it is seared windows. So what we're going to do is we're going to come through here and make some seared windows there. Alright, that should be enough to get started. What you want to do, and you'll notice that I did get 3 buckets. I have gotten the buckets. No, I've gotten 3 buckets of lava. And what we want to do is we want to lay out our seared bricks here in a 3x3 pattern. You don't have to fill that out all the way. What we want to do is bust that, and you'll notice I'm not even worrying about putting corners in, because you just don't need them. which you can build this thing however you want. This is just the way I happen to like building it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smeltery drain here, and a smeltery drain there, and a smeltery drain everywhere. Here, everywhere. So what we're going to do is come up with, I want to do that there, and I want to put my seared tank there, and my smeltery controller there. And then what we're going to do is put a faucet on here, and a faucet on here, and we're going to, now you notice this outside is sitting outside the 3x3. You have to have that, and you'll know you've done it right when the smeltery controller lights up and you can actually right click into it. But I'm actually going to build this up a little bit, and you can build this thing as high as you want to. You're not limited by height. The more levels you add, the more stuff you can fit into it. So that is always a good idea if you're going to be doing a lot of ores. We're going to put 2, 3. The more, like I was saying, the more height you add, the more ores you can put it in at one time. You see, I no longer have 9. I have a buttload. So we need 2 more things. We need we're going to put our tool forge right there, and we're going to throw some lava in there, and a little bit more. I do need to find a way to pipe it, or come up with a way to pipe it. I know how I'm going to pipe it, but I haven't decided, or I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided to go to the nether is what I haven't decided to do yet. But we will in just a little bit. What we want here is we want a casting basin on one side and a casting table on the other. And that actually should be fairly simple to create. You do like you would for a cauldron. That makes a casting basin, and then the other way makes a casting table. So that is all kind of awesome. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to melt some, you can either use aluminum brass, I think it's called, which I don't have any, or you can also use gold ingots. So gold's kind of expensive, but we're going to use it anyways. And I've got 1 ingot here, and that's what I needed. Alright, biggest thing right now is I want the wooden pickaxe head, the wooden binding, and the wood rod. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw, let's see, this is probably 1 each, and that one's probably 1 or 2. So we're going to throw some gold in here. I'm going to do 3 ingots, and as you can see, the little yellow and red bar will go up, and it's actually going to consume some of this lava as fuel. It takes a lot of power, a lot of heat to smelt these things down, and it will actually do a doubling of ores. If you put just the ores in here, like 1 ore, you'll get 2 gold ingots worth of liquid in there. But see, that gives us molten gold, and we are going to lay, you just right click your wooden or stone item in there, like your pickaxe head or your tool binding or whatever, and then you right click your drain, and what that will do is that actually makes a mold around it. And that took 2 ingots, so we're probably going to need some more gold. and we'll do that. Now, that wood binding, I don't need it anymore unless I just want to make a wooden pickaxe. We now have a tool binding cast, which I can then smelt iron down and use it in my tool station here, my tool forge, and make any item I want to. As you can see, hammer, the lumber axe, the excavator, scythe, all that stuff is available to make in the tool forge. If you go over here to the tool station, you'll notice that it only has the pickaxe, the shovel, the hatchet, the mattock, things like that. It doesn't have the heavier tools, and you're going to want the heavier tools, I promise, because they are all 15,000 different types of awesome. They'll make your life easier for mining. And we'll go in here and take a nap while the sun is going down, and we'll take a look at this thing right here. And we can put our, actually I want to see how much is left. So I have 2 ingots left. I want to put my wooden tool rod in there and cast it and put that back. And now this one confused me for a while. I was looking for an ingot cast there, and as you see, these show up in here. I was looking for an ingot cast, and there is no ingot cast in the stencil table. You can see there just is no ingot cast. The closest one is the board pattern, but that will make boards, not ingots. So what you want to do is, for the ingots, you actually have to smelt down your aluminum, brass, or your gold, and you have to lay an ingot into the casting table and pour off your gold, and it will make an ingot cast, so that you can then cast any extra materials into ingots. That's brilliant. As you can see, this casting basin, we'll go ahead and let's just throw all of our iron in there. I had 27 slots, and we'll get 27 ingots worth of iron, which is all 15,000 different types of awesome. And we'll just put our cast, or our ingot cast right over here. Actually, let's take and pick you up and set you right there. Can we turn you around? Let's turn you around. There we go. We like to face the right direction, don't we? And I just usually put my ingot casts next to my smeltery. That way I have them handy. Now you can automate this. You can pipe things into your smeltery, pipe lava into the sear tank, and you can use a vanilla hopper and have a redstone signal come out, and redstone signal to your faucets, and it will cause them to automatically smelt and drain. Really neat way of doing things. But for now, we're just going to do it by hand. So what we want to do is we want to make a pickaxe head, and you'll notice I started with 27 ingots. Now I have 26. That cost me 1. And then I take my tool binding cast, and this will probably cost me a half of 1. Yeah, see, I've got 25 ingots in 1 chunk. So, and then I take my tool rod cast and throw it in there and cast my molten iron into it, and it gives me a iron tool rod. So what we want to do then is we want to find our pickaxe and throw our pickaxe head, iron binding, and iron rod in there, and that will make a pickaxe. Now you notice it is reinforced. That iron comes reinforced automatically. Now the other thing that I want to do is I want to add some modifiers to it, and this is where the this is where the Tinker's Construct becomes extremely useful, because we're going to, if I can find my moss stone, here we go. You take moss stone, and you'll notice I got a good bit of it. Take your moss stone, and we're going to do it like this, and I'm just going to go ahead and make all this up into ball of moss. And we want redstone as well, and lapis as well. Okay, now each tool has modifiers on it, and you will notice when I put this in here, and this is just in the repair or upgrade, it has 3 modifiers remaining, and you can add modifiers to tools. It's really simple. We want to take and we want to add moss to our pickaxe, and that will give it auto repair. And if I add another moss, it will make it auto repair too. So, but I don't want to do that. I want to add some lapis to it. And what that lapis does is it gives you luck. And the more lapis you add, the better luck you get. As you can see, this over here is going up. Each single piece of lapis takes it up 1 point, and you can go up to 400 and 450. So obviously I'm not going to have enough to do that right now, but I will have more lapis later on, and I'll be able to upgrade it pretty well. Lots of noise, lots of noise, lots of noise. Now, the good thing is, when you get to a certain point, and I believe it's at 100, but when you get to a certain point, it starts adding the fortune enchantment to the tool. So you actually end up making your tool into a fortune pickaxe. And I got the 1 modifier remaining, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to make this to where we can add, see, fortune 1, and that's where we want to stop with that one. Okay, now, kind of expensive to do, but we want to get 2 diamonds, and I want to make a gold block here. And again, this is stuff you're going to do once you have a lot of materials coming in. But if you add any tool, if you add a block of gold and a diamond to it, it will add an additional modifier. You'll notice without that, I have 1 modifier remaining. But a block of gold and a diamond will add an additional modifier. So that will allow us to have diamond, which makes it mining level obsidian, so you can have an iron pickaxe that will mine obsidian. And then we can add speed to it, haste, basically. And there's another way that you can add a modifier to it, and different materials give you different levels of modifiers. Paper has the most number of modifiers. However, it has one of the lowest durabilities. Slime has one of the highest durabilities, but I believe it's one of the weaker ones. So it's all a trade-off. Now see, I can't take that up anymore. But what I can now do is, and once I get a nether star, I can actually add another modifier to it if I want to. But what I can do now is come back over here, and we'll throw you guys in there, and we'll come down here and see how well this pickaxe runs. And I know we're getting close to the wrapping up point, but I just wanted to show you guys this with the Tinker's Construct. We're out of coal there, so we're going to have to refuel. That's the next thing that I'm going to work on is getting some lava piped in and making some newer engines. So that will probably be the next video. As you can see, it mines fairly quickly. So, and it will do obsidian. It's not super fast on obsidian, but you can basically mine anything except for ardite and cobalt, I think, are the two ores in the nether that they use to make manulian or whatever it's called. So, and I can use this, and you'll notice that over time it will repair itself. It's at 3 now. If I had more moss on it, it would repair faster. And I actually may be able to add more. I don't think I can. No, I don't, because I think each ball of moss takes up a modifier slot. We'll check and see. I want to do that. Yeah, see, each ball of moss takes up a modifier slot. So you have to kind of choose what you want your tool to do. But like I say, these tools will not run out. They will wear out and break, but you can bring them to a tool forge and repair them with iron. And if you have the auto repair on there, generally they won't run out before they start repairing themselves. So you just have to be careful when you're using something like the hammer or the excavator, because those do a 3x3 pattern of either stone or dirt, depending on which one you're using, and they wear out quickly because they're, you're digging 9 blocks of materials up. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and call it a wrap for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I will see you guys later. Have a blessed day.